Good afternoon and welcome. This is Matthew Lindsay with Precision Home Group here in Anchorage. Coming to you live like I do every day to talk to you about real estate, business, and life. So today we're addressing one of the most common questions that I get, whether that's from potential clients, friends, family, people in the industry, people in other industries. One of the big questions I get is, what's the difference? Realtors are the same as agents, which are the same as brokers, right? Is there a difference? So we get a lot of questions asking about this, addressing, hey, what's the difference between a broker, an agent, a licensee, or a realtor? So that's what we want to try to address today. That's what we're going to solve. So by the end of this video, you should have a pretty good understanding of the differences of each of them. Now, I'm also going to start this video with a little disclaimer. This is different in different states. In different states, there's going to be different titles used in the different real estate commissions per state. So this is going to be from Alaska experience. This could be the same in your state. It could also be different. So we're going to start off with the basic level here. Basic level is going to be a real estate agent. Now, in Alaska, we actually don't use the term agent. They removed that term. So we're not called agents, even though people know us as real estate agents. They call us licensees. We hold a real estate license. But what public or client or anybody who isn't in the industry is going to know you as a licensee? We still use the term real estate agent. So what makes a real estate licensee or an agent, a basic agent? That's going to be a 40-hour class that people take. So they're going to go take a 40-hour class, they're going to sit for their test, they're going to pass the test, then they're going to go to a brokerage, okay? And this is different from a broker. A brokerage is an office that has other agents in it. It's ran by a broker. Now you may know these brokerages as Keller Williams, Remax. You might know them as Century 21, Windermere, Sotheby's, any of these big franchise brokerages, right? Well, there's also a lot of smaller ones, a lot of small one-off offices, groups of offices. So it goes from, small one offices all the way up to franchise level that are across the nation, across the world. So those are all brokerages. So as soon as a real estate agent or licensee passes the test and goes and works at a brokerage, they can start working. They can start going out there, contacting clients, doing sales, buy, sell, whatever they're going to do in the real estate realm. So that's going to be the basic level, and that is a real estate agent or licensee in Alaska. So I want to break down the brokerage versus a broker. What is the differences between these? So we have a broker, this guy up here, lovely drawing. So you have a broker who is in charge of the house, okay? So this is going to be the house. We're going to say this is Remax. We also have this broker who is down here in charge of this house, and we're going to say that's Keller Williams, okay? Now, inside of these houses, inside of these brokerage houses, we have agents, right? Like I mentioned, the person who went through, took the class, passed the test, he's going to go sign up. He's going to go work at one of these houses. So you're going to have a bunch of different people inside of these houses, and those are agents or licensees. Now, you have plenty of them. You could have an office of 5, you could have an office of 500 within these brokerages. These brokers who are standing above the home, these are what's called brokers. They're in charge of that brokerage. Now, these people in here, what they have done is they've actually taken further classes, they have more experience, and they're actually running the show. Now, in the state of Alaska, in order to call yourself a broker, the first thing that you have to do is sit for your broker's license. It's an additional license that you get. You got to take 15 extra course hours of classes to be able to sit for that test. Then you sit for that. You also need, so the 15 course hours and 3 years experience. So when you pass both of those hurdles, you can sit for that test and go take that test. And then once you complete that test, you're still not a broker yet. Now, if you come and work back at KW, at Keller Williams, and there's already a broker in charge, is who we call them, well, you can work at this brokerage as a associate broker. If there's already a broker who's in charge of the entire brokerage, you can't have two of them. You can only have one at a time. Now, if there's already one, you become what we know as, again, associate broker. Okay? Now, if this guy wants to retire, says, hey, I'm done, don't want to be a broker anymore, well, this associate broker, because you just passed your test, you did the 3 years, you have your 15 extra credits, and you passed that test, well, now you can jump up here, and by doing that, you are an associate broker down here. Now you're a broker. Okay, so you're going to be the broker in charge. So that's the difference. A broker in Alaska is going to be in charge of the brokerage. They have more responsibility, more experience, and stuff like that. The agents themselves are going to be the salespeople within that organization doing the sales. Now, you might have someone up here who has 3 years experience, because that's what you need to pass the test. You might have someone up here who has 30 years experience. Same could be said for the agents inside the brokerage. You have people who do that part-time. You might have someone who might sell one home a year but's been doing it for 15 years, right? Or you might have someone who's been here for 2 years, and underneath him, they've sold 100 homes. So you have different levels of experience, and not always the length of time in that career path relates to experience, okay? So I just wanted to point that out as well. The final thing I wanted to talk about is a realtor, okay? So we have agents, we have the licensees in here, we have the brokers on top, now we have realtors, okay? So any real estate agent could be a realtor. Not all of them are though, but all realtors are agents. Okay, so a realtor is somebody who has gone to the Board of Realtors, which is a national, actually I think it might be an international organization. I know it's a national one, that actually to get into that organization, you have to abide by a certain code of ethics that you swear to, and you have to hold yourself to a certain standard of practice. Now, to get into this organization, you have to do continuing ed credits every year, and by doing those, every 2 years, every 2 years you got to do continuing ed credits, and abiding by that standard of practice and code of ethics. Not everybody does that. Not everyone puts a high importance on that. So that is something that you know you're getting with somebody who has that realtor designation. Now, it's a national designation. It doesn't take that much work to get into it. But once you have it, you're held to a higher standard. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at and talking to agents and realtors, the differences about that and what that comes with. So I hope that this cleared it up, the difference between a realtor, an agent, and a broker. If you have any other questions, please do reach out, let me know, send me a comment, send me a message. I'd love to touch base with you. Again, this is a question that came up. We addressed it, so we'd love to do the same for you. So hit that like, share, and subscribe.